Hey guys,
Hey,
welcome back to another episode of the How Much Do They Make series. Today we have a cracking guest. We have Joshua, who is an electrical engineer. Hi, Joshua.
hey Josh,
Hello. Hiya.
welcome to the Humble Penny.
Welcome.
Thank you
Do
very
you
much.
want to? Yeah, good to have you, man. Do you want to start by telling us, give us a bit of a background on what you do and how long you've been doing it for?
Okay. Yeah, my name is Joshua Olaleye. I am an electrical engineer, specifically a primary system designer, and I work for a power distribution company. Um, yeah, so what I do is to design high voltage networks. So
Okay.
3 kV to 132 kV. I don't want to go into technicalities, but basically, we look at how the network, the electricity network, can run as efficiently as possible. And then
Okay.
we also try to incorporate new connections. So people who are willing or we want to, customers who want to connect batteries and these renewable energy sources, or even new housing estates.
Hmm.
Yeah, they come to us to look at how they could connect to the network. So we maintain and oversee the network in and different parts of the country. And so I, as a primary system designer, I look at this, the higher voltage level, and look at how best to manage the network.
Awesome. So, how did you get into doing this? Give us a bit of a background about your educational journey, what you studied as well.
Yes. So my journey was pretty long. I came from Nigeria. I started university in Nigeria, but when the opportunity came up, I moved over to the UK and I had to start all over again because while I was in Nigeria, the universities were on strike and I couldn't get a
Wow.
transcript to cross over. So I had to start again.
Oh,
And what to make matters not really worse because I believed that's part of my story.
Yeah.
I had to actually start from college. So I because I didn't do A
Ah.
levels, I had to like go through college. I did an advanced diploma in engineering, and I got a place into Bath University. So
Wow.
I got to the country in 2009. I got a place in Bath University in 2011.
Wow.
But so I started. That's why I said my journey has been quite long. I
yeah.
started.
Yeah.
I started the uni, but because of finances and I was an international student, I had to drop out.
Hmm.
So because I was self-sponsoring myself,
Yeah.
Wow.
self-sponsoring. So
Tough. That is
yes,
tough.
Very.
That is tough.
it was really tough. So I had to drop out, and then I went because I couldn't pay the fees. So I went to the Open University to do some courses while I was working
Hmm.
um, to pay the fees and the fees I owed, and also I needed to keep myself kind of fresh with regards to the
Hmm.
educational side. So studied, did a certificate in engineering with the
Hmm.
Open University, and then when I was able to get enough money and I got my home student status, then I went back to the Bath University. So I did a 4-year degree in electrical engineering at
Hmm.
Bath University, and while I was at the uni, I was blessed to also be given a scholarship, and so
Wow.
the company I work with, so from my first year, I was working every summer with them, so that was part of the scholarship. They were sponsoring me, and I was working every summer with them, summer placement. And at the end of my degree, I went on to work with them.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
So, okay, hang on. I want to backtrack a little bit. So, how old were you when you got into uni? And also, how old were you when you came to the UK? Like, how old
I,
were you?
I came to the UK in September 2009. I was 18 plus.
Hmm.
That's 2009. Then got into, I did the diploma for 2 years and
Okay.
got into uni in 2011 and so dropped out and now to come back I think in 2013, late 2013, and then yeah, graduated in 2018.
So you were much older than maybe other students
Hmm.
at
Yes.
uni.
Yes.
So that should say a lot to a lot of people actually watching this. You know, it's
Yes.
never too late, even if you've had a lot of setbacks on your journey.
Yes, so true.
I
Yeah.
think a story like this is actually really inspiring because you've carried on, which is why you're here on this series today. You know, had you not carried on, we wouldn't be telling your story today. So
Absolutely.
I'm really honored to be having this chat with you actually, because I think everyone's story is so unique and has a lot of power. So talk to me about a day in a life. So your job sounds mega technical. So like what happens like from when you wake up to, you know, when you shut down in the evening? Give us a summary of how your day goes.
So my day to wake up, I'm a person of faith, to pray and kind of visualize the day and also plan for the day. Then I do a bit of exercise. And so after that, I'll shower, do the likes. Sometimes I have breakfast, sometimes I don't. And then, yeah, go on to work. And so at work, what we do is mainly design, so network design and looking at the different connection or different proposal or inquiries that the customer brings, and we try to study the network. So we look at, without going very technical, we kind of look at the load flow of the network and see if the cables or if the we call them assets, if the assets will have the enough capacity to take whatever is coming into the network. And if it's not able to do, what are the remedial factors? What can we do? Do we reinforce the asset or do we connect somewhere else? So that's pretty much what I do most days. Sometimes I have connection surgeries with the customer where you try to explain the type of connection that they would have. And so we do that, and also we draw up, we call budgets. So stuff we call budgets for the customer to say, well, if you will connect to this area of the network, this is what it will cost, or this is what it will entail. And so the customer now says, well, does that really fall into my investment plan? And so they either accept or reject. And then we also, for customers who accept, we go on to do offers where we have like a formal offer to the customer to say, well, this is the works that will be done and this is when it will be completed.
Got it.
So so in the day, that's pretty much what I do at work.
Wow.
That's super interesting. So tell us, what are the top 3 things or habits that make you a success at what you do?
Yeah, my top 3 things. It makes me a success at what I do. You don't need to be uber technical to be able to do this. You just need to be willing to learn and be inquisitive. So when we do these studies, you don't necessarily need to know everything. And I'm glad I have people around me that are willing to help and are really happy to help. So just show that willingness to learn. Always be friendly, nice and friendly to the customer, because, well, you can know this technical stuff, but the customer some of them don't really understand what you're trying to explain. So you being able to break it down in a friendly way kind of makes the process better. And also just be present. Be present with your colleagues. Be present with them and be willing to just be willing to help also, because it's something for you to learn from people, but it's another thing for you to be able to be willing to give also. So give your time to help people, be present in listening to their concerns about a particular way of doing things. So I think I've enjoyed the job because of mainly those 3 things.
Love it. And what would you say you love about your job?
I work in the power industry, so I love having power. So I think it's just the ability it's just knowing that what I'm doing makes a difference. In electricity is very important to people. So
say that to a Nigerian and they'll say, I agree.
Yes. I think our motto in the company I work for is we keep the light on always. So that's the baseline. So do everything to make sure that the light stays on.
That you know what? Your skill is much needed in Nigeria. We need people who can keep the
I
lights
think
on.
they already know how to. They're just not doing it. So
Yeah,
that's
it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you say are the challenging aspects of what you do?
Well, the customers, sometimes there are some customers that want things done in a certain way, and it's probably not possible or is way too difficult. So what we try to do is provide the simplest way to do stuff and the easiest way and the cheapest way. But some customers, maybe because of other advice they've gotten from elsewhere, think they know better and try to force an opinion on us. So dealing with those challenges, and also I think sometimes it can get quite hectic. So it's also trying to create a space for yourself where you can decompress and where you can do something else and make for your mindset and your mental health. So sometimes it can be really, really high pressured and stressful. So it's just trying to find a way to get your mind off those things.
Okay, so for all that work and power, let's talk money, because money is important, and this is a personal finance channel. What do you earn in your job at the moment at this level as I guess broadly speaking, an electrical engineer? How much you earn monthly and annually?
So annually I earn 48,000.
Okay.
And well, I'm excited because next month I'll be getting a pay rise. So yeah. So probably it will be going probably up to about 52,000 next month.
Nice.
Awesome.
Crossing that 50k. I think that 50k is actually quite a big deal, right? When you cross that 50k, although it's I mean, funny. It means more tax,
Oh yeah.
You're in that higher tax bracket,
Yeah.
But you need to. I remember a friend of mine saying to me how when people complain and say "Oh man, I'm paying too much tax," they're just like, as long as you're earning more, it's it's okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway.
So yeah, so that's what I earn. So and I take home about 2,400 every month.
Is that do you get a pension or a bonus or anything like that as well?
No, well, I contribute to the pension. I don't get any bonus, so I contribute to the pension, and I pay I take out the student loan, contribution, and yeah, those other contributions, and my union contribution also adds up, and that's what's deducted from the gross.
Cool.
So, what is the maximum income potential for somebody who is an electrical engineer?
So, well, my company pays, as far as I know, they pay a lot more than the competitors, and so probably mine won't be the let's say the average, probably be
above average.
So above average. But for my role, the highest I could go to is, I think it was formerly 60, and I think it's going to move up to about 65.
Okay.
Yeah, about 65,000. Yes, that's roughly how much I could earn.
Got it. Do you have any plans of thinking over in the next few years, maybe any plans of increasing your income beyond that 65k? And if so, do you what do you plan to do to achieve that?
Yes, I do have plans. So one other thing I do is every month I contribute to I invest in S&P 500. So that's one part. But also I'm thinking of doing something. I have a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm a certified leadership coach.
Oh,
right.
And so I did the John Maxwell leadership certification.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, I'm planning on maybe focusing more. I've been putting more focus on that and creating like a consulting company or a coaching company where I speak to people. At first, it's mainly for the young people, for the youth, and encouraging them to be better people, and just opening their eyes that they can be whoever they want to be. I grew up in a one-bedroom apartment with a family of 5, and here I am right now. So everything is possible, and so so I'm thinking of doing that. Well, it is kind of in the pipeline on releasing more YouTube videos and just also going into coaching and consulting.
Do you have a name for your channel already?
Yes, it's called, it's my name, Joshua Olaleye. But it's Joshua Olaleye, then it's BiGJosh, B.I.G. Josh.
Okay.
BiGJosh.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna try and find that, and our editor can maybe put some details on the screen for people to check you out, and learn more about that, because you've actually answered that question, because we were going to ask you if you had a side hustle and how you plan to make money from it. So you've kind of
touched on that.
You've kind of touched on that already. So just before we jump into your personal finances, this is our last question about your career. Imagine you've got somebody who is watching this and thinking to themselves, Josh started late and he's making soon to be making more than 50K, and I wouldn't mind earning that sort of money. What top 3 pieces of advice would you give someone who wants to do what you do today and earn the sort of money you're making?
Top 3 pieces of advice. I think the first one is what I learned in uni. Is that it's not just about the academics. That's not only what people are looking for, or employers in a sense. You also look at your interpersonal skills. What, apart from the job, what can you fit in the team? Can you fit into the team? Will the team be happy having you? And so I was the student representative for my department and for my faculty. I served on the African and Caribbean Society, and I did.
I did too. It was a lot of fun.
ACS.
Yeah, ACS. Yeah.
I did not go anywhere near ACS.
Don't worry.
I kind of felt like, man, those people over there, they're not even going to pass their exams. They just spend all their time doing ACS.
Well,
I kind of feel like I missed out. This is me.
You didn't miss out.
I still feel like I missed out.
This is his way of trying to make you feel better about missing out.
Because
ACS, yeah, whatever.
I'll probably be one of the people that people would think I wouldn't have amounted to anything, because I was playing football. I was a sports officer, so organizing sports and I think you doing all these things. I play sports. Enables you to gain a wide experience of different things and meet different types of people. So that's one. Well, also study that and make sure you get good grades, and also have mentors, have people that can advise you on the way forward. I think that's one of the things that helped me. Having people I look up to, and I still have a few more people in my professional life, and because they could enable you to kind of see the picture, or kind of view a future that you never imagined for yourself, and they could put you in the right track.
Love that. So shifting gears to personal finance, Joshua, how would you describe your personal relationship with money?
My personal relationship with money, I think I have a good relationship. I focus on three things. Try to make money, try to manage money, and try to multiply money. And so those are the 3 things that govern my the way I see money. And so that's the way I've looked at money. That's the relationship.
Okay. Cool. So just I want to talk. So you obviously grew up in Nigeria and stuff. I want to know from you, what do you think you learned about money growing up from your parents? Whether it's good or bad, and what does that look like for you in your life today?
I think knowing. I think one thing I learned from my parents, especially from my dad, is being transparent. And not he was transparent with the family. We all knew how much he earned.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so unusual for an African man.
Yes.
I've got to say, for a Nigerian man, that is That is so unusual.
Yes. And so I think that's kind of really a bit when I grew up, I realized it was really unusual. For us, it was normal. So because then you are able to, you don't ask for unnecessary things. So it tells you how much he earns, it gives you your school fees, and well, most of the time it withdraws after at the end of the month, it withdraw the whole money, and then he calls everyone and says, well, this is your school fees, this is your school fees, this is the
Wow.
amount left, and we are keeping it in this place, so you know where the rest of the money is. So you are able to, so when they give you your pocket money, you kind of like, you manage it the best way you can. and
Mm.
and so we kind of like, we as children, we kind of knew the value of money. We knew that whatever we were spending, we need to be careful with it, because there
Interesting.
is no infinite source somewhere, because we know where the rest is. And yes, so that growing up, that's kind of like, um it's kind of molded my, what I think about money, my view about money.
That's interesting. What did your mum have a similar view of money as well, or was this just your dad's take on money?
Yeah, well, it's both, but I think for my dad, it was a bit more pronounced because of the way it did it.
I love that. And I guess that's taught you how to budget from a really young age,
Yeah,
which has carried you through to now.
yeah.
So, what would you say that you spend most of your money on per month? And also, what do you do to treat yourself?
What do I spend most of my money on? I don't really. Pretty much, I'm a simple guy. I think probably on sports. I play football every week, and well, we pay for the football. So you pay to play. So I think that's pretty much what I spend my money on. Um,
Wow. You must be
yeah,
saving a lot then. You must be a
I
lot.
well, I yeah, I was saving. I have a wedding in September.
Ah,
Oh,
congrats.
Thank you very
congratulations.
much.
We did another
Exciting.
interview and they were getting married as well.
Yes, yes, they
This is like a
were
season for. How old are you,
weddings.
Josh? I'm curious. How
I
old?
I am 31.
You're 31. Okay.
Oh,
So you're not that much older than like the rest of the millennials, because there's this thing I've seen now with a lot of people kind of saying, well, actually, like your early 30s, nah, man, don't get married then. Like just wait until later.
mm,
But I kind of feel I was quite happy getting married a bit earlier because
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice. It's nice
Yeah,
to.
and I'm excited. So, um, yeah. So I'm saving for the wedding now. I'm well, not necessarily saving anymore. I'm paying for the wedding. We have the wedding,
I
and
don't
and
even want to ask you how much your wedding's gonna cost, but
man,
boy, it
I'm doing
sounds
it.
like
I'm
it's
doing it in Nigeria, so it's a
okay.
Nigerian
You're
wedding.
doing it big. You're doing it big.
And I'm also in the process of buying a house. So
Okay.
there's a lot of
Wow.
cost. So yeah, I think I'm just waiting on the solicitors to get back. So it's the mortgage has been um accepted, and the like. So I'm
Wow.
hoping everything comes together in, well, probably end of August, beginning of September.
Yeah.
Yeah, get married, move straight into the new house.
Wow.
Exciting things happening
That's
for
so
you.
interesting that you're buying a house at the same time as getting married. Like when we did it,
That's a good thing to do
yeah, and
because
that's
it
quite
makes you
smart.
sensible
It makes you
and
put money aside for the house rather
and
than
not the
spend all
wedding.
your money on the wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's pretty
yeah,
smart, isn't it?
yeah.
No, so well done for that. Can you think of a specific money mistake or regret you have growing up?
Wow. There's one pretty recent. A few years ago, I I got this new job, and it was a big jump from the type of job I was doing before. I was doing support work to
Hmm.
to support myself,
Hmm.
and now I'm an engineer. Yes, I'm a proud engineer, and the like. And well, the money was good. So I got, there's this hotel close to me, and they've got a nice gym, really good gym. They've got swimming pool, sauna,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
likes, all the works. So I said, yeah, I think I'm rich enough to get this,
I
but
think I deserve
I
it.
deserve it. And it was really expensive. But I went for it.
Okay.
And a few months later, I realized, nope, Josh, that's not the way to go. So, and so I had to cancel it. I had to cancel my membership.
Right.
I had to pay a fee, some penalty fee to
Oh,
cancel
wow.
out.
Wow.
Yeah, to opt out. But I knew. I think the lesson it taught me is you always need to know. Don't overestimate or don't ever exaggerate um, who you are, what you are, what you can afford. I am the firstborn of my family. I've got parents, and if you know, with regards to Nigerians, and you have to take care of your
Culture.
parents and
Yeah.
and the likes. And so so when I came back to my senses and I looked at my budgets and everything, I realized that wasn't the way to go. And so next time I have to think really hard before venturing into this.
I love it because when you come into more money, there is that kind of pressure, or I guess this expectation to increase or change your lifestyle. Yeah, but it's good that you came to that realization early.
I've got a good example of this. When I think I must have been 18 or 19, and I had a summer job, and I'd never ever earned anywhere near £1,000 in my life in a month. And this job was paying me, I think it was about 1,100 a month. And I never forget getting that first paycheck. And I literally, on my way back from work, I had to go through Camden Town.
Oh,
I got off there. I was like, yeah, man, I want one of those biker jackets. I want like all my money.
oh my
A lot of
gosh.
my money went straight to just like
Clothes.
binging on clothes. Yeah.
Had to get out of the system.
Yeah, I know these things happen. So yeah.
So, what would you say is your ultimate financial goal, Joshua?
Ultimate financial goal is to be able to do other things without thinking of the cost or without thinking of the money. So I love fundraising. I do fundraise for charities, and I volunteer also for charities. And it's just being able to do those things without thinking of, oh, I need to get some money somewhere. So being able to, for me to be self-sustainable, self-sufficient, and to have enough money probably in the bank or in investments to say, well, I want to dedicate time to focus on this charitable cause, or because I'm really quite interested in things like that.
How much do you think is enough? You said to have enough money in the bank. What do you think that is?
Whew. It's no. I know I'll be a millionaire, so let me just put 2 million.
I love the confidence. You know, it's just like I know I'll be a millionaire. You know.
Oh, that's as well. It's already been settled in my mind. It's not when, it's if. It's not if, it's when.
It's when, yeah.
Amen to that.
I love that. It's a good mindset. Yeah. It's interesting when you get there. It doesn't. It's just one of those events that just happens. You're like, oh, okay. You carry on. But no, good to hear, man. It's really good to hear. I love that question that Mary asked you. What is your ultimate financial goal? Because I just think not many of us really think about that. You know, it's easy to just process through your job and your life without actually pausing and like thinking, first of all, what's all this for? And second, is there another way I could get to that place by, perhaps doing things a bit differently? So, yeah, that's actually, for me, that's one of the most, that second question for me is one of the most revealing questions, because I'm always thinking, like, for example, if you want to buy a property, I'm always thinking, like, how can you do it in like 3 months? Like, what are the other moves you can make to make that happen, rather than going, I don't have the money? It's more like, well, how? How can we find the money? How can we find the 50K or the 100K or whatever it is you need? Like, what, I just like the creative aspect of trying to solve that problem. So I think questions like that just sets your mind off in like a chain reaction. But look, good to have you on the show, man. Really, really appreciate you coming on board. If people wanted to reach out to you and say, hey, look, I want to hit you up, Josh. I want to learn about what you do and that sort of stuff. What's the best way for them to get in touch?
So I am on LinkedIn. So Joshua Olaleye, that's just my name on LinkedIn.
Cool.
I am on Facebook, Joshua Olaleye still. I'm on YouTube, so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Woohoo!
Yes, check it out, guys. Show him
Hit the
some
notifications
support.
bell.
So Joshua Olaleye, and then you have like BiGJosh.
Okay.
And because I'm a person of faith, the big there is an acronym. I believe in God. So
Love that. Love that.
Okay.
and I'm also on Instagram with b.i.g Josh. BiGJosh.
Okay. Understood.
Brilliant. Well, we wish you all the very best with your YouTube as well, and the consulting, coaching business that you're looking to start. Thank you so much for being on our show. It's been really great getting to know you.
Come back and tell us once you hit that millionaire status or goal or whatever.
Yeah.
You should come and tell us. Come and keep us updated. I think it's going to be fun to have another catch up.
Yeah, and all the best with your buying a property and your wedding as well.
Thank you very much.
Good times, man. Good times.
Oh, yeah, exciting times.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Josh, thank you so much for joining us. Guys, if you really enjoyed today's interview, I would really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button, because that helps us to get a signal that you're loving the sort of videos we're putting out here on The Humble Penny. This video is part of a much larger series where we've interviewed people from all kinds of careers, both in a traditional sense, whether it's surgeons, bankers, accountants, other forms of engineers, and so on, or the non-traditional paths, such as becoming a YouTuber, or a gamer, and poet, and stuff like that. All those interviews will have linked to the playlist below for you guys check out, as well as above. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. And as always, in all things, be thankful and seek joy.
Take care,
Take
people.
care.
Bye,
Thanks,
Josh.
Joshua.
Bye. Thank you very much again.
Bye, everybody.
See you. Bye.